Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make flatbreads 3 ways. So it's a really easy bread mixture. It requires no yeast, it's just plain flour, water and oil. You can use it as a pizza base, you can use it as wraps, you can use it with just some garlic butter brushed on it. So I'm going to show you how you can adapt a really easy recipe to be really tasty. So first things first is hygiene, so hands washed. So making sure that we give our hands a really, really good scrub. Get rid of those germs. Then what you need to do is you need to make sure that you wipe your sides down. So just a couple of sprays of antibacterial spray. And making sure that it's nice and clean. So what's really important is that you have a frying pan ready. So I've got a frying pan here. I'm going to whack it up to a really high heat once I've made the dough. And also in here I've got a saucepan with 2 cloves of garlic and 25 grams of butter, and that's cooked away, ready for me to brush onto the flatbreads. So first things first. You need a bowl and you need your sieve. And into the bowl, you're going to put 200 grams of plain flour and you're going to sieve that in. So 1, it gets rid of the lumps, and 2, it aerates the mixture, makes it nice and light. Any lumps that you can't get rid of, throw away. Then you're going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt, or half a teaspoon of salt, sorry, should I say. And then I've got 100 millilitres of just cold water. Just going to pour that in. And then into that, you want 2 tablespoons of oil. So I've just got olive oil. Okay, so that's to give it some elasticity, and that's to give it some moisture so that it's not dry. And then you're going to stir it all together. If you find that the dough is a bit too sticky, then add a little bit of flour to it. If you find that it's a bit dry and it's not coming together when you use your hands, then you need to add in just a little bit more water. So what you're going to do is make sure that you get all of the flour from round the wall of the bowl and from the bottom. And then you're going to bring it together into a dough. And like I said, if it's too dry, add some more moisture to it. There's still a bit of flour in the bottom, so I'll need to add some moisture to this. So what you should do, once you've sorted that out, is you should end up with a dough that looks like this. Okay, so a really nice flatbread dough. Then what you're going to do is you're going to divide it up into 6. Otherwise, what you'll find is it won't fit in your frying pan. It will be too big, and then the edges will be raw. So as evenly as you can. I mean, you can do it bake-off style, and you can weigh out all of the pieces if you want to make sure that it's nice and even. And then what you're going to do, what's really important, is making sure that you get them into a really nice, precise ball of dough, because that then makes it so that it's as round as it can be. The nature of flatbread is that it is quite rustic, so we're not looking for that perfect circle. So in particular for me, you'll see when I show you the pizza that I've made, it's not a perfect round at all, but that's the nature of it. So once you've got all of your balls of dough, you're then going to get some flour and your rolling pin. And you're going to make sure that you sprinkle your worktop with flour, and what's really important is that you sprinkle your rolling pin with flour as well. And then you're going to do up, down, quarter turn. Up and down. And if it starts to stick, add a little bit more flour and quarter turn. So this stops it from sticking to the worktop and to the rolling pin. Okay, so what we want is we want to roll it out so that it's quite thin. What I am going to do, just before I get it to the right thickness, is I'm just going to put my frying pan up. Now you need to make sure that you do have an adult with you whilst you're doing this. And what's really important is that you don't put your frying pan on too high for too long with oil in it, because otherwise it can end up going up in flames. So that's really important to make sure that an adult is with you. So got a nice size here, really nice thinness, shall I say, to the dough. So it's nearly see-through, so you can nearly see the worktop pattern through the dough. Okay, so this is perfect. Then what you're going to do is get an adult to do this, is dip some kitchen paper into some kitchen towel, and you're just going to wipe it around the pan, being really, really careful. And then you're going to place your flatbread into the frying pan. What's really important is that you've got some tongs handy and that you've got some foil, because once you've cooked every one of your flatbreads, to try and keep it nice and warm and pliable, you need to put it into some foil to keep that warmth in there. So what you're looking for with the flatbread is it puffing up, which it's starting to do. Whilst it does that, I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay, so you'll see that that's starting to puff up. And I'm just going to use the tongs just to check. So we want to have it so that it's going nice and golden on the other side, which it is. So once it does that, you're going to flip it over and you'll see that you've got those really nice golden patches. So that's called dextrinization. So that is when starch browns, so it reacts with heat. And you see it's starting to puff up, which is beautiful, so that's what we want. So it's really important to remember that you mustn't put too much oil in your pan. You're literally just rubbing it on with a bit of kitchen towel or baking parchment. And they literally do take a minute, minute and a half either side to make sure that it's cooked through. And that is done and ready for the next one. So what I'm now going to do is take it over here. Be really careful because it will be hot. So you can see here my very rustic pizza that I've made. So it's not an accurate shape, but that's the beauty of it. And what I've done is I have added just some tomato sauce. I've got some chicken pieces that I've got, which are fridge raiders, which my son really likes. So I have had them in the fridge. And then some cheese and some chopped up peppers. So it's completely up to you as to what it is that you top it with. And then you'll end up with your lovely pizza. So once you've topped it, pop it under the grill just for a few minutes, and then you've got a lunch or a dinner sorted. With this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush it with some garlic butter. So I put 2 cloves of garlic and 25 grams of butter in a pan, and I'll let it cook over a medium heat for about 8 minutes. And I'm just going to get it and I'm going to brush it on top. So this is a nice accompaniment to a dinner. So if you're having spaghetti bolognese or lasagna, or you've got hummus, coleslaw, maybe some nice dips, it goes really well with that. And you're going to brush it on. Okay, so that's a really nice rustic garlic bread. And then the last one is turning it into a sandwich. So when it comes out of the frying pan, you fold it over straight away and pop it into foil to keep that elasticity to it. And then you stuff it and eat it as a nice rustic wrap. So there we are, flatbreads, really, really simple, really easy. You'll make 6 of them, so that should feed a family quite easily. Really cheap. So I hope you have fun and enjoy.